We have some more FC25 cards to look at, cards that I think are going to be pretty solid at the start of the game. Now, some of the cards we're looking at today will be cards that I think will be quite cheap and be good for that value, and some of the cards we're looking at are going to be cards that I think will just be pretty solid at the start. We're not looking at, you know, the crazy metas, the Mbappes, the Haalands, that kind of vibe. We're looking at cards that are sort of lower rated, might have a value, but look like they'll be solid to start off with. If you end up enjoying this video, please do leave a like on it. It supports me a whole bunch. Hit the sub button if you're new, and turn notifications on to be told anytime we upload a video. Comment down below to let me know what you think of these players and if there's any other players you'd like to see. But without further ado, let's get straight into it. Starting off with card number 1, and we are looking at Joe Gomez. This guy is normally pretty insane at the start of every FIFA, and I don't think this game will be any different. 82 pace, lovely. The split is not ideal. I like the split to be within 5 of each other. So let's say his pace was 82, the acceleration being 80, the sprint speed being 85. That's perfect. 75 to 87 is quite a jump. It means he's going to get to a good top speed, but it might just take him a little while to get there. But overall, it's not the end of the world. Low shooting, he's a centre-back, who cares. Great defending and physicality for an 80 rated card as well. Stamina 75, I think that's fine for the start of the game. For a centre-back especially, I think that's okay. But solid interception and stand tackling with very good slide tackling and defensive awareness. The strength and jumping also both phenomenal. I don't know exactly how tall Gomez is. I don't think, if memory serves, he's massively tall for a centre-back, but having good jumping hopefully will kind of make up for that a little bit. The agility and balance on the lower side of things, but not the end of the world. Still looks like a really good card to me. I personally think that Joe Gomez will be a phenomenal card to use at the start of the game. He's always so solid, and I don't see why this would be any different this year. Looking at a fellow English player, we're looking at Gallagher, obviously now moved to Atletico Madrid in Spain, but this guy's card looks phenomenal. 70s across the board, pace being his lowest. Again, the sprint speed right on the cusp of that, so a 6 difference, but again, that's not the end of the world. It's not a huge problem. That's just personal preference for me. Shooting stats for a card that's kind of really going to run as a box-to-box isn't really a player you're probably going to be shooting with all that often. Really good long shot and shot power sort of vibe. So it's the kind of card that if you just get a bit of a chance, like edge of the box from a corner or that kind of thing, have a go. You might get a little bit lucky. Passing stats are phenomenal. Great short passing, good long passing as well. Some really nice stats for somebody, again, to sort of be a bit of a win the ball back and then play it off to someone, sort of like a I guess like an Eriksen at Spurs sort of vibe, or like Modric at Madrid, like earlier parts of his career there. Just getting that ball deep and then playing it off to someone, play him alongside like an out-and-out DM, and you're looking like a real good little duo there. But dribbling stats are also pretty good. The agility and balance, again, low 70s. You kind of want mid 70s, but it's not the end of the world. Again, it's a starter card. This is sort of the vibe we're looking at right now. Good reactions and ball control as well, with great dribbling and good composure. Interceptions and stand tackling being the main stats that jump out for the defending, with really good physicality. 94 stamina. Again, in that midfield, you want a player who can just run for 90 minutes, and with 94 stamina, he's pretty much going to be able to do that. I really do hope he does well in Spain and gets some good game time, gets some good cards as well. If this card gets like an upgrade or two, you're looking at a really decent little player. I'd say kind of the card would suit a Shadow, just to get those defensive stats up a little bit, get the pace into like near 80s or low 80s, and you're looking good. This looks like a real good starter midfielder. A card you could maybe look to play alongside him would be Fred. Another player with the pace split being a little bit out of my preference, but again, a good pace stat overall. Shooting, sort of a similar vibe to what we were saying with Gallagher, but maybe even less so on the shooting side of things, just the stats being that little bit lower. With good positioning though, so his attack and positioning is going to be decent. Passing stats, again, are really nice. Great vision, good short passing and good long passing as well. Has a bit of a free kick option. If you don't have anyone else with particularly good free kick stats, he could be up there. But dribbling is where this Fred card absolutely comes into his own. High agility and balance, phenomenal for an 81 rated midfielder. That's incredibly good agility and balance, with real good reactions, real good ball control, and great dribbling as well. His dribbling stats really do make this card shine. He looks phenomenal. Defensive stats are great. It's just the heading. The heading drops that rating a good chunk. Let's say his heading was like mid 70s, 72, 73, sort of low end. You're looking at like a 78 physicality stat, or defending stat, I should say, sorry. So overall, it's really good. It's just the heading isn't great. So again, you kind of want to pair him with someone just a little bit taller to win those aerial duels in the middle of the park. 94 stamina, again, another great player to just run around and do the business. Less physical in regards to actual strength attributes. So his strength being in the high 60s will kind of not make him ideal for too much ball winning, but with the great tackling that he can do, like his slide tackling being in the 70s, his stand tackling being 80, he will still win the ball back. He's just the kind of player to, again, do the defensive dirty work and then load it off to somebody else. Or if you can get a chance to dribble like through a couple of players, dribble through the midfield and then play it off, that's what he's really going to shine with. 4-star skill move as well. Very, very nice. Looking even more defensively in the midfielder, we're looking at Kessie. This guy is just the epitome of win the ball through sheer force. 88 physicality, phenomenal, real good. 93 stamina, and then you're looking at 88 strength, 85 jumping, 81 aggression. That's real nice, especially for a starter card, but that's real nice stats with great defending as well. 81 interceptions, 82 defensive awareness, and 82 stand tackling with 78 slide tackling as well. Nothing to be too worried about there. 3-star skill moves with 4-star weak foot. So again, the ability to sort of win that and then play it off is going to be great. Him being on his left or his right with the 4-star means that's less of a worry for you. I don't know how tall he is, but low heading accuracy, sorry, did surprise me just a little bit. Really good jumping. It's just, you know, he's probably going to win the ball in the air. He just might not find the pass through a header potentially. But dribbling stats, again, look phenomenal. Great composure, which is really nice to see on the DM. Again, like I was talking about, like winning that ball and then playing it off. If he's got some players around him, having a bit more composure to play the good pass, to find the right player, which is great to see. Talking of which, 81 short passing as well. Really nice to see as well on that side of things. Agility and balance, not too bad. Again, sort of being in those 70s for me, you're sort of okay in that sort of position. So looks pretty good to me. Good dribbling, good ball control, good reactions across the board. The dribbling, I think, is pretty good. Shooting on this side of things, again, a little bit better. Great penalties. So if you don't have a penalty taker, looks like he could maybe do that job for you. Worst case scenario. The finishing 75, you'd maybe want someone with a little bit more, but penalties, worst case scenario, you've got somebody with decent penalty stat. Good shot power as well. So again, if you get that ball near the edge of the box, you can have a go, see if you can find it, see if you can get that ball in the back of the net. And a good pace split with 79 pace. Looks pretty good to me. Slightly more attacking player, we're going to look at Teo Vera. Now, his base card is a left mid. I would assume he can also play left wing and either centre forward or striker. I don't think yet it's on these cards. I will have a look nearer the time, like next couple of days when we're doing a few more. I'll see if there's some other players that maybe have the other positions confirmed on their card. But overall, this is just basically an out-and-out play. You just want to get early doors, great pace, get to the back of the net. They're sort of OP quick strikers. So I think because of his pace, he will have some value to him. Pace split's fine with me. 93 acceleration, 89 sprint speed, absolutely fine. Shooting looks pretty good as well across the board. Shot power is really nice. The finishing being 76, you could argue you want someone with a little bit more. Let's be honest, Teo Vera in real life, not the most clinical player, but does find the back of the net occasionally. So good positioning as well. So if you can get the ball into him at the right place, he will have a good chance of finding the back of the net. And I think if you get enough chances to him with that pace, with the positioning, he will score. At least the goal of game is sort of the vibe that you're hoping for, really. I would say he's definitely more suited to a winger because of the lower shooting stats, but his low passing, you may be looking to play him a bit more central. So that kind of vibe where in the current meta of like 4-3-2-1 with the centre forwards, obviously no centre forward position FC25, but in that sort of role where they're sort of playing off of a striker, I think he could be pretty good if the striker gets the ball and is able to lay it off to somebody. That sort of vibe, because the shooting is good, but the passing not great. 70 curve, also a little bit on the iffy side of things with good short passing, but the vision crossing, free kick accuracy and long pass on the lower side of things. So as long as the curve, in my opinion, isn't too problematic, I'm still okay with this card. You just don't really want to prioritize getting him into crossing positions. That's the sort of vibe there. Agility and balance, you could argue maybe a touch low for wingers, but again, early doors, I think a lot of fullbacks are going to have relatively low agility and balance, so it will be enough early doors. That's kind of what this video is about, looking at those first couple of, like, maybe even month sort of cards. Ball control, dribbling, composure, all fine with me. Reaction looks good as well. Decent heading accuracy with good jumping as well, which is quite nice to see. Decent stamina, slightly low on the strength, but again, for me, you're sort of running him as this player to run off of people rather than like being that physical duel. You want to try and get him in with space, have him running onto a pass or running past the player. That's the sort of vibe I'm looking at with this, and for that, he looks good. Emre Can is up next. Again, a lot of DMs in this video. Apologies for that, but I didn't really think of that going forward. The only thing on this card for me, two small iffy facts. 69 agility, a touch on the low side, and the pace split, quite drastic. Outside of that, this card for me, early doors, perfect CDM. Absolutely perfect. I was saying about Joe Gomez is pretty much always good at the start of FCs and FIFAs, as is Emre Can. This card looks phenomenal. Great shooting stats for a DM, Great shooting stats. 72 positioning, 74 shot and finishing, sorry. 85 shot power and 80 long shots. Again, edge of the box, you're laughing. Decent. And penalties, again, 81 penalties with, again, decent-ish finishing. If you don't have anyone else, he will still do a decent enough job, I would assume, from that. Really nice short pass. Really good long passing as well with good vision. And 77 curve, not too bad at all. Helpful for the shooting for sure. And maybe playing those through balls and stuff could be pretty helpful for that. Great composure, 83. Again, if you're sort of in that tight position in the middle of the pitch, he's got a good chance of finding a good pass and not being flustered on the ball. Good balance, good reaction, good ball control, and good dribbling. Again, just sort of makes his card a bit more well-rounded. Not just, oh, I'm going to win the ball and be physical. It's a nice, well-rounded centre mid, so that's great to see. Solid defence and physicality. These are both basically perfect, in my opinion. It's a small shame the defensive awareness isn't in the 80s, and then you can literally 80s on everything for the defensive physicality. But great interceptions and heading accuracy, phenomenal stand tackling and slide tackling, especially for an 82 rate defender. Really, really nice. And the physicality side of things, great. Good jumping, good enough stamina for me. Great strength and phenomenal aggression. I think he's going to be real good. Really, really do. The 4-star weak foot, again, lovely on a CDM. For me, he just screams great starter card. Going back to the Prem, we're going to look at a Cam in Szoboszlai. Again, I think this guy looks really, really nice. Defending's quite low. That is what it is. The strength is a little bit low. You could argue maybe that's not the biggest issue for a Cam. The agility is great with the balance being a touch on the low side of things. I do worry that the strength and balance maybe being both combined a touch on the low side. It could be a small problem, but I don't think it's enough to sort of take him off of this list. The pace split, again, it is quite a drastic one, but overall it's a good pace stat and I'm okay with that. Shooting is phenomenal. 89 shot power, yes please. 90 curve, yes please. Great passing stats as well. This guy is going to absolutely find players left, right and center. This is the kind of card that I think would pair perfectly with a Teo Vera. Get the ball to him and then find those really nice passes for him to then run onto. I really do think Szoboszlai is a really, really nice looking starter card. He had a really good one as well at the start of FC24, and I do think as well he's going to be really good at the start of this game. 4-star Forcer as well just ticks another box. But for me personally, I think Szoboszlai, real good Prem starter card. Phenomenal. Up next, we got Ruben Loftus-Cheek, obviously over in Italy, and this guy again looks a beast. Gold plus stats and everything. By that I mean 75 rated and above on every single base stat here. Pace split, it's okay. It's a 6 difference, but I'll make do with it. Shooting stat, again, for a card that's kind of really going to be a box to box, not necessarily shooting all that often. It's not the end of the world as long as you don't have him taking volleys or penalties. He's good enough at shooting in my books. Great positioning as well, so he'll find the right place to stand, which is always nice. And then some really good short passing and long passing as well. Great stats. Physicality looks insane. The stamina, again, 80, that's okay. Great jumping, great strength. Defending looks good. Dribbling looks good outside of the balance. Beautiful card. Up next, we have Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Now, this guy, you know, in some previous years, like while he was at Arsenal, for example, this guy's card was always ridiculous. Now, this guy, obviously, you could say past his prime a little bit, but a really good starter card here. Pace, again, the split, a bit outside of what I prefer, but it's still a really good pace stat. Shooting is phenomenal. Great positioning, lovely finishing, good shot power. Obviously, a good option for penalties if you need one. Passing for a striker that you're not really looking to offload the ball with too often, not too bad. 72 crossing for a striker is actually pretty solid, but good free kick accuracy and short passing. Phenomenal curve. Agility and balance, again, on that lower side of things. This is a guy you kind of want to get the ball to and have him, again, running past players or get the ball to him so he can just kind of get that shot away. Great reactions, great ball control, solid dribbling and composure as well. 4-star Forcer as well was actually quite a nice little addition to this. Just, again, makes him a very usable for a number of options. And then the stamina, for me, is the only real sort of stinky selling point. It is quite low. It's a kind of card that you will either be bringing on to be an impact, or maybe around that 60-70 minute mark you have another striker on the bench to bring on and kind of finish the game out, because without playing the game, obviously we don't know how impactful 62 stamina will be, whether that does mean he can play the full 90 or he's going to struggle to do so. So we'll kind of find that one out, I think, in the game, but hopefully it's not too detrimental. I would assume it means that he wouldn't be able to really do the 90 minutes every time, and you'd probably need a sub. Now, the last player on this list is Correa. Again, another player that just every year gets a card that looks disgustingly good at the start of the game, and this is right up there. 82 rated, has 85 pace, 84 shooting, and 86 dribbling. Insane. Lovely pace split. Shooting stats are through the roof. Just don't put them on penalties. 85 positioning, and finishing. 86 long shots, 83 shot power. This guy is just going to be scoring you goals. Out of all the cards we've looked at so far in today's video and the most recent video, I think this is the card that I'm most like, I want this guy on my team, because every year his card's phenomenal. Great vision, great short passing, not bad crossing as well for a striker, with really nice curve. 82 again, phenomenal. Agility and balance, yes please. 90 and 89. Insanity. Great dribbling, good ball control, great ball I'm gonna start that again. Great ball control, good reactions. Composure, again, nearly at 80. It's not the end of the world. That for me is, if you're looking at that as one of the weaker stats, you're doing great business here. 79 composure. It's not the end of the world. This guy's going to score your goals for sure. 84 stamina. Again, perfect. Ticks another box. Good jumping. And the strength, again, I touched on the low side, but he's not the biggest lad. So for me, out of the 20 cards or whatever we've looked at so far in these videos, he is the #1 spot. I love this card. But that's another batch of cards that we are looking at, 4 cards that I think will be insane at the start of the game. Let me know your thoughts on these cards, and if any of them particularly jump out to you and you think that they look particularly good, or, you know, any comments on them. And of course, let me know if there's any cards you'd either like to see or you think I should include in the next video. That is much appreciated. But yeah, that's it for now. Thank you guys for watching. I've been Tom. You guys have been awesome, and I'll see you soon. Look after yourselves, and of course, wash your hands. Take care.